Hi, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Real Life Podcast. I'm Elizabeth Hamilton-Guarino here with the fabulous Dr. Katie Eastman. It is November 24th. Katie, have you started cooking yet?
I have started getting my recipes together and I have got my ingredients and I have my schedule. So I know exactly what I have to do each day between now and Thanksgiving. Yes, I am organized.
We're still, we went out this morning really early for shopping and yesterday morning for shopping and got our turkey and all that good stuff. But we have one set of the kids, Cam and his fiance, leaving to do, so we did Thanksgiving here tonight, and then they're leaving and doing Thanksgiving in her house, then they'll be back for Christmas. You know, that juggle between the in-laws kind of thing.
Yeah.
So and then after that, Quaid will leave and come back for Christmas. And so it's all there's a lot of groceries going on. Sure who's going to eat what, leave with what. It's pretty funny. Anyway, so good. So you're all good. You ready? Ready for Thanksgiving?
I'm ready. Yeah. I started decorating 2 weeks ago. I made my wreath yesterday. I'm ready. I'm doing the Martha Stewart thing.
I don't know about you, but my front porch is confused. I've got pumpkins and Christmas lights. Anybody else have pumpkins and Christmas lights? In Maine, you know, we try not to put the Christmas lights out in 20-degree weather. So we're, you know, it's 50, 55, 60. So we're outside wrapping the poles with the white and red lights this year. It looks like a candy cane lights this year at our house, but the pumpkins are out too. So yeah, it's all confused, but it's happening and fine. And then we'll cut up the pumpkins and throw those into the woods for the creatures or recycle them. I saw somebody was recycling pumpkins. I think here in Maine, it was like garbage to garden. You can go and just dump your pumpkins there and then they recycle them. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we usually throw ours in the woods, but one year I got ambitious and I made them into big Christmas ornaments because they're round.
Yeah.
And don't do that on your front porch because you end up getting paint all over your front porch. And it doesn't get off very easily because you live in a rainy climate. And so the rain washes the paint onto the porch. So I'm not allowed to do that anymore.
Not anymore. You have to have pumpkins. Yeah. That's a really good idea, though, for a pumpkin decorating contest.
It is.
You know, the office party.
Yeah.
There were some really elaborate office party pumpkins this year on like Instagram and TikTok. I'm like, oh my, you guys need to not be dentists. You need to be creative. Something.
Right. I mean, why really not? Cool. After you use them for Halloween and Thanksgiving, use them for Christmas. Just make them into big Christmas ornaments. It's really fun. But you don't do it on your porch.
So you're like me. So there will be no like Martha Stewart with Katie and Elizabeth. We will not be doing craft session, folks.
No.
Or maybe we should.
No, I did have fun doing a wreath yesterday. That was really fun. But somebody showed me how to do it.
Yeah. You don't have it with you though, right? You can't hold it up or anything like that.
No, I have a photo of it, but I don't have it with me now.
Yeah. But we did that. We made I don't know, we make Christmas pots out front with the winterberry and stuff like that. So yeah, we're getting there. It'll get there. By Friday, it'll be Christmassy. But you know, holding space for Thanksgiving. You and I did a blog on bestselling.com about peace and Thanksgiving Day peace and holding space for peace. We've been doing a lot about peace lately. And we were talking about maybe having your Thanksgiving Day, how to hold space for Thanksgiving without politics and all of the fighting and bickering and things that ruin holidays. Those create some bad memories and the good ones. But we were talking about setting a tone for togetherness and celebrating each other and things that we're grateful for. And you said, what a good idea for the Real Life Podcast. So here we are.
Well, yes, especially because for me, the last 2 weeks, I have been doing a lot of work with clients around their decision-making related to Thanksgiving, whether or not they're going to be with family because they don't know if they can. And what do they need to do to be able to do that? And so I've been using this list and using similar things with people in actual decision-making mode over Thanksgiving, because they're really quite concerned about their vulnerability.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I've had similar phone calls where people are super concerned about what should you say, what should you not say, what should you do, and what should you not do, to kind of keep everybody together and so forth. And I think we've got some pretty good suggestions. And again, you come up with your own and stuff like that, but I don't think it's a good time. Maybe this year in particular, maybe this is a lasting blog. I'm not sure, but maybe it goes with every election or something like that. But it's hard to go in to a setting like that where a few people have this opinion, a whole bunch of people have this opinion, and there's one over here. It creates almost like family brawl. It could be a recipe for a really bad endeavor.
It can.
I have a huge family, so I know. When you get 50 people together, it's like, oh my, that topic is taboo.
And really, there's no reason to talk about it.
Yeah.
There's really no reason to have a conversation at all about it. And I've been encouraging people I've been speaking with, if you ahead of time reach out to your family members and you trust that they're able to do this, and you simply say, we will not discuss this topic because I don't feel comfortable, and it's the only way that I can come. And I don't see anything wrong with that. There's really no reason anyone needs to discuss anything that makes someone else uncomfortable on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, I agree. So when you set a tone for togetherness, I think one of my favorite words always, anyway, whether it's Thanksgiving or not, is gratitude. I absolutely love the word gratitude, and what it means to me might be different than what it means to you, what it means to somebody else, and so forth. And that's sort of the beauty of that word. It can mean whatever you want it to mean, but it's a great time to lead with gratitude. It's a great time to be grateful. It's a great time to, it kind of infuse gratitude into the situation completely. Do you want to explain what that means?
Yes, I at our family dinner, and we don't just do this at Thanksgiving, we do gratitude circle a lot, where we just hold hands and squeeze each other's hand when we say what we're thankful for. And we hold the intention for all of us to be grateful for each other. And everyone in the circle of whomever is together at Thanksgiving really has something to be grateful for. And everybody knows I'm a Hallmark junkie. And one of the things I saw on a Hallmark show recently, which I think I'm going to do, because we always have the gratitude circle when the food's getting cold, and that doesn't work. So what I think we're going to do is what I saw in the Hallmark show is do the gratitude circle before you even sit down at the meal. That's a great idea, because then it becomes not pressured. Then you don't have to worry about the meal getting cold, and people have more time. And so I really think it's important. Gratitude is something that joins us. We connect around what we're grateful for. We disconnect when we gripe. But griping and gratitude are in contrast. So don't gripe, be grateful.
Yep. Yeah, and that gets really hard depending on circumstances and things like that. It gets hard to not feel like you want to complain, gripe, and be grumpy and things like that. And so it's a reminder when you feel that way to come back and root in gratitude. And what I mean by gratitude might be different. So I know I started out learning my gratitude practice, like writing lists of things I was grateful for. Like I'm grateful for Peter. I'm grateful for the boys. I'm grateful for my house, our car. And it felt real material at first, and then it sort of morphed as I thought, oh, wait a minute. As I was writing Percolate with You and things like that, I was like, oh, hang on. I'm going back to like grateful for breath here, because I've been resuscitated twice from food allergies.
Yes.
And I have a medical alert on and all of these things. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. My gratitude is just simply breathing in and out. And then I'm going to go from there. My perspective is going to be super different. That doesn't mean that I don't get ahead of myself sometimes with, sometimes going, wait a minute. I'm not ungrateful. I'm just ambitious or whatever. I get caught in that loop a little bit, feeling guilty for a conscious ambition or something like that. And I'll pull myself back to breath and the fact that I have contacts and glasses and things like that, because I have really super bad eyesight that I've had since I was like born with it. Probably second grade I had glasses, sixth grade had contacts, that kind of thing. So those two things really guide me. Those are real beacons of light for me to go back to always, and just go breath, eyesight. Okay. For me. Do you do that?
Right. I do. I actually, because now you and I joined your club of almost.
Sorry.
Yeah. And and last February when I had a pulmonary embolism. And so I was realizing this week that, oh my God, I'm here this Thanksgiving. Every physician I've known has said you shouldn't be here, but I am. So yes, I'm grateful that I'm here. And if everyone would just start there. I'm grateful I'm here. I'm grateful I'm here with you. I'm grateful we're together and we're about to eat food. I'm grateful we have shelter. If people would simply sit back and say the small things that they take for granted, that they're even here, that is huge. It's a great place to start with what Thanksgiving's all about.
Yeah. And I find sometimes when I'm working with people or talking to people, they have sort of a living, it's not a buyer's remorse, but a guilt feeling sometimes of like feeling that way, especially if something bad has happened to somebody around them in their circle. It's hard when there's grief going on to say, well, I'm grateful, I'm alive, I'm alive and well, and this and that. It feels a little bit funky when somebody else is aching. So I think that would be really good for you to explain, given your expertise. People feel funky being grateful when there's ache.
Right.
So I think sharp contrast.
If you have someone at the table who is grieving for whatever they're grieving, and you know that, then grief-friendly comments is important. You wouldn't, here's the rule of thumb I have. If I wouldn't say it to someone at a funeral, I don't say it anywhere.
Right.
Okay? Because you never know when someone is grieving or feeling sad. So if I don't post things that would not be grief friendly, I don't say them. So saying that I'm grateful for being here doesn't mean that you're saying to them that you're ignoring that they have a loved one that isn't, because we always at our table acknowledge those who aren't there. We have a moment of silence where we remember our parents and the people who are no longer with us at the table. So we always honor them. And that allows for that grief to be present in a way that is valuable to people. It really does help them to be able to know that you're thinking about those who aren't there.
Yeah. And the other thing, and you and I have done blogs on this before, when you're trying to hold space for peace and gratitude and things like that, but there's a world event that has happened. Mm-hmm. And you feel odd there as well. Take that one. You're good at that one too, explaining how to.
Well, again, it's really the same thing. It's like if you like someone said, it'll be fine. Well, would you ever say that to someone at a funeral? Of course not. Well, anyone going through a challenging time is like someone at a funeral because they've lost something. They've lost someone, they've lost something, they've lost maybe safety. You just don't say to someone, it's going to be okay. You don't know that. And for them right now, they don't want to hear that. Think about it. Would you go up to someone at a funeral and say, you're going to be okay? It's going to be okay. They'd probably want to slap you. And reality is we don't want to hear that. We haven't made sense of our loss yet. We're still in shock. We're still in that grief phase, whatever grief phase that might be. So honoring that is so important because otherwise we really harm people.
Yeah.
We
You can
send a
do damage.
message to them. Yeah, we're sending a message to them that our own discomfort is more important than what they're feeling.
Yeah.
And if they're feeling crappy, let them feel crappy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have trouble on holidays sometimes. I feel a little bit crappy here and there because my dad's not here, and it's just the truth. I'm like, whoops, totally missing. Yeah.
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 And I hope you do what I do, which is to take time during the holiday to go talk to Dad, wish him, tell him you wish he was here, have a good cry if you need to. I always do that for the holidays with my parents. And my dad died 2 days before Christmas. So that day is always a memory of going into the store and buying my outfit for his funeral, and the perky shopkeeper saying, "Oh, you buying this for New Year's Eve?" Yeah, no, my dad died. So it really is important that everybody remember to be compassionate and empathic. When in doubt, listen more.
She might have been saying, "You look beautiful. This is so beautiful on you," kind of thing.
Yeah,
she might have meant right well from her heart, but
of course,
no, I
meant
get it.
well. Yes, she didn't know. Right.
Yeah.
But we don't know. That's the point.
But we don't know yet. That's the point. The other thing that I have trouble with this holiday sometimes because it gets out of control. We control it in our own way. We rein things in and tone things down. We're not super like got to stand in line at 2 a.m. Black Friday humans and things like that. But this holiday can get a little bit. I don't even know the word for it. It just gets a little too much for me.
Stressful.
Too much. It's not even stressful. It's just like gratitude goes out the door in 24 hours to like this frenzy of greed. And I can't reconcile the two ever. I'm like, this is so strange for me. It's like a flip goes, switch flips. And it's like, okay. And so, we just operate a little bit differently in the house. We're not big shoppers on the next day, maybe for like poinsettias or something like that. If there's a deal, buy one, get one or something somewhere for something like that. But odd. Do you have that feeling? I don't even know how to explain it.
When I had a little, right. When I had a little one, I used to go out on Black Friday and get stuff for her Christmas because it was available. It was less expensive. But I do remember the crowds and the energy and how awful that felt when you were in line and somebody was competing with you to get up there first. And there were like, I remember there were groups of people who were organized like on like cell phones or walkie-talkie. They were, not walkie-talkies, but cell phones.
I know,
yeah. And they were like cutting in front of people because they had their, it was just unreal.
Camped out. I've seen people camped out. My dad, bless his soul, he at JCPenney in Davenport, Iowa, had a Cabbage Patch event, and they hid Cabbage Patch dolls all throughout the store.
Oh, fun!
Let people in to, if you found one, you got one, kind of thing. And he was determined to get one. My little sister's 15 years younger than I am, so I'm 55. She just turned 40, and he got her a Cabbage Patch doll. That kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about the elbowing. That's
I don't do that anymore.
Like a feeding frenzy that goes on, and it's like, whoa. Yeah. So people are going to be people, and you're going to do what you're going to do. And I love you all, no matter what.
Right.
I'm just saying that for me, I get a little conflicted during this holiday because part of me is like, shopping. And then the other part of me is like, calm down, stay.
We always make it about charity. Yeah, we always make it about charity. The next day we always buy our Christmas tree from the local charity. We always do something charitable where we focus there. And it's just a choice. What do you want the holiday to be about? What do you want to think about? Where do you want to put your energy? And that is choice. And you can be charitable. You don't have to spend money to be charitable. You can make it a point to look around and see if there's something in your house you don't want anymore. Take it to Goodwill that day. Do something nice for someone else that doesn't cost a penny, but just go out of your way to call someone and say, hey, I was thinking of you. Being kind and being peaceful is a choice, and a choice I hope more people will make this holiday.
One of the things that we like to do is anonymously go onto Amazon lists with the wish lists and secretly fill some of the wishes. So we do a little bit of that on Thanksgiving and the day after. And then some of the things that we do leading up, we'll buy turkeys and donate them or to various people like that. So, there's little things that you can do. It's a great time of year to do a Percolate Peace project where you buy somebody coffee ahead of you in line and go onto our besteveryou.com/percolate-peace and log it in. Say you bought somebody coffee, happy Thanksgiving. Those kinds of things. It's a great random acts of kindness holiday around this time, I think, anyway.
It is. And it's wonderful. I actually thought of what I'm going to do for my Percolate Peace project. I'm going to be Secret Santa to 4 different people who I know are going through really, really tough times. And I'm just going to anonymously leave them a financial token for them to take and use for whatever they need this holiday season, but they're not going to know it's me. And I'm going to be Secret Santa. And I've already picked out the 4 people who are in crisis right now that I'm going to do this for. And I just can't wait. That to me is the best Christmas present ever.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So we're leaving politics for another day. We're going to eat our pie in peace.
Pie and peace. Oh, I love it. Pie and peace. Okay.
We're eating our pie and peace. How about kids? Let's talk about kids because, as adults, we sometimes forget there's little kids at the table absorbing everything we fight about, talk about, and do. So it's a good moment, right? To remember, the kids' table can hear you.
Well, we've all said or done something in front of our little one that ends up being repeated somewhere. I mean, my favorite Callie story was when I took her bra shopping with me when she was little. So what does she do? She goes into daycare the next day and says, "Oh, my mom got a boob job." Okay, so that if you're saying or doing something in front of your kid that you don't want repeated, don't say it or do it because they will. And they're watching and they're listening. And really, there's no reason to argue at Thanksgiving about anything. It's a choice.
And yet people do. People do.
But they choose to. They totally choose to. Yep.
Choose not
it's all
to.
Choice. Choose not
it's
to.
It's all choice. Yeah.
Yep. All choice.
Yeah, so remember the kids. And so, and again, we're kind of doing this show in connection to the blog we wrote too. So, you can kind of go over there and look on bestofyou.com. It's under the humanity tab under all articles, click humanity. It's right there. And so point 3 was to create a space. Create a safe conversation space, but not politics. It's not a safe political space.
No, that's not safe. No. I use four things. No shaming, blaming, judging, or criticizing. Shaming, blaming,
I say no gloating.
Judging, criticizing. And gloating. Yeah, exactly.
I no
and anything that makes somebody else feel small.
Yeah.
Don't
do it. Make somebody cringe.
Anything that's going to make somebody else intentionally uncomfortable, don't do it. Just grow up.
I think I agree, but I think sometimes people don't know what to say, so they say kind of what's on their mind, and everything on our mind right now might be something else. And so, so go armed with, 5 little conversation starters in your pocket, and if if you forget what to say, pull out the paper and look. And so we wrote some of them, like, what's a conversation starter? What's the best thing that happened this year to you?
Yeah.
We wrote a couple of these here. What's a funny or memorable Thanksgiving story you could share? Like we always, poor Quinn, our son Quinn, he's 27. We always share the story on Thanksgiving because we'll have this, if you don't know the tradition, part of it is lasagna, and then the rest is traditional Thanksgiving. And
yes.
yeah. And so when he was about 3, never liked lasagna ever. And we're in Tahoe, and we put their plates on the fireplace thing, and they were eating. And we came back and we're like, oh my God, he ate everything. He ate all the lasagna. I mean, we praised that kid up and down for eating his food. I mean, we're like, go Quinn, you're the best kid ever, kind of thing. Time passes. Roll up to 2004. We're moving out of Tahoe to here in Maine, right?
Yeah.
Peter's in Tahoe packing up the house, and he calls and he goes, "You're never going to believe this." I'm like,
"Oh, wow.
You're never going to believe this." And he goes, "You remember that time we had lasagna?" And he goes, "Quinn stuffed it all in the fireplace glove." Peter's like, "What is? Oh, gross,
gross!"
It got shoved in the. Oh, so funny. So he threw the fireplace glove out, and we have a permanent story.
Oh God, that's really funny.
And he loves lasagna now, but super funny. But I remember him being about 3, and we're like, "Oh my God, he's such a good boy!" He shoved it all, like feeding a dog. Oh yeah,
we've all got funny stories from Thanksgiving. Yeah. I mean, my grandmother used to burn the turkey almost every year, and we'd always have hamburgers, and she burned those too. So, we have a lot of, and then my grandfather making real mincemeat. And he was smoking a cigar, and you could see the cigar getting into the mincemeat. And everybody's got those stories, and they're important. They're important because they're part of our heritage, but also they keep things light. And everybody needs to keep it light this year. And if you can't, don't do it. It's okay. It's okay if you're having a hard time and this is not the year when you can do that. Bow out. There's nothing wrong with that. Just take a break this year and be good to yourself. I mean, if there's one thing I would say to everybody, don't push yourself into a place of resentment or frustration or anger or sadness or, don't push yourself. Don't. Just take care of yourself.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. And then so we talked about activities after eating Thanksgiving dinner, after pie or whatever. And, again, not everything has to revolve around that dinner table or dinner. There's other things that you can do. We do board games or go to the movies.
That's good. Yeah. We used to watch football.
Yep, we do that too.
And one thing that I would say is that please share in the cleanup, even if you're going to watch football, because we have recording now. So that was one of the things that used to bug me is my brothers would be watching football and I'd be having to clean up, and not fun. So really share the cleanup.
Share. That's a huge thing. Have you ever sat down for a huge dinner and you've cooked for 3 days? You know what I mean? I've seen.
I start tomorrow, and I cook for the week, different things every day. And so my family now, they all help. I mean, my husband is
I think times have changed, but I can remember being a little kid, and my mom, all of us will have cooked and cooked and cooked and cooked and cooked, and then it's like, we're done. We're watching football over there, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute here. And I remember as a little kid going, oh, this makes me furious.
Yeah.
Furious. And it felt like a role placed on me. And I'm like, oh, this pisses me off so much. I can't even stand it. Yeah. I used to just hate that feeling of like, well, girls do the dishes. And I'm like, no. As far as I can see, you're perfectly capable. You can hear me. So, and I am a mother of 4 sons. And my husband, and no one does that to me. I think I would flip out if it was like So Peter helps cook. He cooks the turkey.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My husband does as well. My husband's he's cleaner than I am. So no, I don't have that at all. But I remember my father.
Oh,
good old Bob. Nope. He was the first one to sit there at the TV set. So, oh well.
First one to sign up for food and then sit at the TV. It's like, oh no. Sorry, guys. So what's our lesson here? I know I'm on a rant, but be mindful of the cook. Be mindful.
Yeah, be mindful. Be great. Again, it's gratitude. It's really make a conscious effort to make everyone feel comfortable. Yeah. And don't take anything for granted. Really, don't. And there will be an awful lot of people this year who will be frightened and anticipating something really horrific. And so we all need to just honor that and just be grateful for the fact that we aren't one of them.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. All right. So space for peace, space for peace, space for peace, reflection, peace.
Yeah. And I do that independently by myself, where I have a prayerful, meditative experience of gratitude and what Thanksgiving means to me in the very, very beginning of the day, so that I carry that energy throughout the day. And I try to really maintain that energy throughout the whole thing. And we as a family talk about that ahead of time. How are we going to do that? We're very sappy. We really are. And that comes from me. We're super sappy, and it comes from me. And my family, it just is that way because they know that they are my family.
Yeah, we usually do like a Thanksgiving Day show on bestselling.
Fun.
We've done that every year. It started out as again kind of a fluke because just like the show started on Thanksgiving Day, I figured it was a safe day to like test a new microphone and equipment, and so we did that. We had to go live to do that, and people started calling in. I'm like, well, if you're going to be here, tell me something you're grateful for. Happy Thanksgiving, kind of thing, and it turned into a show. And that was fun. I actually don't have that set up for this year, but might. I'm not positive. Yeah, I'll think about it. I'll see. I don't have that ability to call me live anymore. Actually, Blog Talk Radio is still in existence, so I actually do. I'll have to think about it. I was thinking it had shut down already because I've moved over to iHeart, but we've still got the show and it'll still move over, so maybe I will. But anyway, sidebar. I'll see. How about, like, let's say all chaos erupts. Let's say somebody hasn't watched the show and has, rolled up their sleeves to bicker with everybody, right? And you're sitting there going, "Oh, let me off this crazy train." Whatever it is.
I prepare people for that with their exit plan.
Yeah. What's your exit strategy, folks?
Yes. What's your exit plan? And your exit plan can be, I need to leave the room temporarily. So I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. I'm going to go look at a book. I'm going to do whatever it is, but I'm going to get the heck out of Dodge for a bit. Now, if it's really bad and you feel like you really need to exit, you need to exit. You need to say, really, it's been lovely, it's been wonderful, but I'm out of here. And so I really encourage people to have your exit plan and know your limit. Know where you need to get up and go before you start to lose your peace or lose your shit. Like I said the other day.
Yeah, we say that. What if, like, we're kind of open books here. People are going to know if you upset me or not, kind of thing. I mean, that's going to be clear if you upset me or not. If all hell does erupt, am I allowed to say, you've all pissed me off, I'm leaving? Or does it need to be like, it need to be faster than that?
I mean, preferably you won't get to that point. Preferably you'll calm yourself down by taking a break before that.
Yeah.
But if you get to that point where you've really had it, then you really have had it. And you just say, sorry, guys, I can't do this anymore. I'm out of here. And you just politely leave.
Be so funny if I my own house. It's like, the dishes are yours, kids.
Yeah, I'm going for a walk. And most people do go for a walk on Thanksgiving and around here anyway, especially unless it's raining. But so I think that everybody has to know their limits. But if you're losing your peace, then I think this should be the phrase, frankly, honestly, keep your peace, don't lose your shit. Really.
Yeah. No, I agree. Keep your peace. Don't lose your shit. We're good.
Yeah. That's our phrase for this.
Phrase for this Thanksgiving. Don't lose your shit. Even if everybody gets pressed, your job is to remain calm.
Right. Yeah. Try. At least try. It's all a choice. It's all a choice.
Super funny. Okay, so in the blog, this doesn't exist, but I keep thinking about all the people who have gone on a diet this week.
Oh God.
To prepare for Thanksgiving. I'm guilty of this sometimes. I'm like, oh man, the scale says that, and it's going to be like 5 pounds more on Friday. I'm like, oh, right.
It's there again, it's your choice. It's your choice. If part of your enjoyment of Thanksgiving is the food and how much food you eat, then choose that. But if you are there because you want to be with family and the food doesn't really matter, then choose that. Everybody has their own priorities, but nobody's are the same and everybody's are fine. So if you're going to indulge, but indulge gratefully and have fun. Don't indulge and then feel guilty, because that's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
That's total waste of your energy. Just enjoy it. And then start over the next day and say, okay, well, I had a great day.
Yeah, I agree. Nothing's ever perfect at Thanksgiving.
Oh God. Oh Lord, no. Far from it.
I've burned so much shit over the years. I can't even. I go to Easter for a second where I bake the ham with the plastic on. The kids will never let me live that down. So I've done some really crazy. I have. Most often it's forgetting something like, what? What did I forget to make? Oh, stuffing, or something. Not
right.
Stuffing, but
or all of a sudden something's burning. What's that? Oh, the rolls.
Everybody burns the rolls. So at the very end, you're so exhausted. Your job is to be on watch for the the final the packet of rolls that you take out of the package and throw in the oven and to not burn those. Always a
oh no, there's always something that goes wrong. And I've baked the turkey upside down. I've baked it with the bag thing inside of it.
Oh, that's gross. I've done that too.
I was really into cider donuts and making my own when I moved out here. And I threw the donuts in the hot, or the grease in the hot water, or the water, or something like that, or the cider. That's right, the cold cider in the hot water, and something blew up. We've all done stupid things like that, and it's just, we got to laugh at it and not, the worst though. This was the far worst. Was I was basting the turkey, and my mother-in-law came along and she scared me. She said something that scared me, and I went like this, and I squirted her with the hot grease.
Did everybody know hospital visits there, right?
Oh God, that was so awful. Oh my God, that was the worst. But no. So we've all done stupid things, and you just gotta laugh at it because it's just human. It's just human. And Martha Stewart has a group of 50 people that help her be perfect. It's not just her.
It's not? Really?
No.
Yeah.
It's not. No. And she'd be the first to tell you that.
Yeah, maybe. I love Martha Stewart. It's pretty funny. What was I going to say? We had somebody at our table one time. It was a girlfriend of one named one of the older boys, and we sat down, and I guess we weren't thinking somebody wouldn't eat turkey.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Yep. And so I'm like, oh God, kind of thing. And she's like, don't worry, I brought tofurkey.
Oh, yeah.
No offense to anybody who eats this. I'm so sorry. But if you're not used to it, right? No offense to anybody. I swear to God, you eat what you eat, and we respect everybody for what they eat and everything like that. But it caught us all off guard, I think, is what the point was.
Oh, yeah.
We're sitting doing that stuff, and I'm like,
just the word tofurkey.
I didn't even know what it was. I'm like kicking Peter into the table, going, I have no idea. Oh God, I've hurt her feelings. I'm all panicking, and I'm like, caucus in the kitchen. Hang on, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm no, she doesn't eat meat. She's eating tofu. Well, what kind of tofu is turkey? I'm like,
right, exactly. Tofurkey. I have no idea what that is. I've heard of it, but I've never. But the point of that is preparation.
Oh,
because if you're bringing someone to dinner and they don't eat turkey, which chances are pretty good, that they're a vegetarian or a pescatarian or whatever they are. And then you need to be responsible and tell your host ahead of time, by the way. And I always ask. Callie's bringing a boyfriend this year, and I've asked. I'm like, this is the menu. Yeah. Is it okay? Is there anything you like? Was there anything you don't like? I mean, I prepped. Yeah. So
this was one of those. I usually do too, but this was one of those. Do you mind if blah 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 comes over? Kind of thing for Thanksgiving. It was real last minute kind of stuff.
Right.
So I did end up making her a beautiful salad. Things like I worked around. But
right. And we all would. We all would.
And I was like, oh shoot, I'm gonna laugh. I'm like, oh no, you just gave me the giggles, and I'm.
But they know. It's like, I'm gluten free. I would never go to someone's Thanksgiving meal without telling them that weeks ahead of time. Yeah. And I would bring my own food because I'd have to. So no, I think it's really
like food allergies. So
yes, absolutely.
Anytime there's food involved in a holiday, I'm like, oh no, I'm just staying home and eating my own food, because it's super dangerous to eat other people's food. Even with the best intentions of other people going, we've got you. It's like,
No, I'd be terrified to feed you. I would absolutely be terrified.
It's terrifying. So be mindful if you're going to somebody's house for dinner and you've got special dietary restrictions, give them a heads up. And because that makes people feel unpeaceful. It makes people feel like they made a mistake. You feel like you've not thought.
Right.
I'm pretty thoughtful. It made me feel like, oh God, I would have been way more thoughtful had I known, kind of stuff.
Right. So, exactly. You'd feel horrible. Right.
Yeah. I did feel pretty bad. I'm like, I'm so sorry, kind of thing. So sorry. My kid didn't tell me, kind of thing. Poor one of the older boys. Yeah. Anyway. All right. What else have we got here? Just to keep, we were talking about just keeping the general piece going, but do we forget anything? Because we're coming up on 40.
No, I think we did everything. I really want people to remember that all the way through, it is your choice. If you choose kindness, you will have a wonderful holiday. If you choose negativity and you choose things that are not comfortable for other people, you will create havoc. And you will create a lousy experience for yourself and others. Yeah. So choose kindness. It's that simple. Choose kindness. And if you're going to be with a group of people who aren't able to do that or don't want to do that, then don't go.
Yeah. Don't be a shit stirrer.
Do not be a shit stirrer. Don't stir the shit. Don't lose your shit. Make this a shit. We don't want it to be a shit show. We want it to be a shit-free Thanksgiving, and choose peace. And it is a choice. And one of the things I just keep saying over and over and over: your choice.
Yeah,
your choice.
Yep. And we put out a little thing today with peace and love. Those are always go to peace and love. If in question of what to do in the moment, choose peace and love.
Right. If it's not peaceful and it's not extending love to someone else, don't say it.
Yeah. Otherwise,
when in doubt, and I always say to people, when in doubt, don't. Better to not say something than to say something that offends.
Yeah.
And if you offend someone, then turn around and say, gee, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of all the funny Thanksgivings now. They're rolling through my head like a tape.
Oh, how many? I mean, oh God, they're funny, and laugh at it. Laugh at it, but don't laugh at someone's expense.
No. Even though that's what I'm doing right now. I won't do it.
Well, I mean, yes, but they aren't here to feel offended, but we all know, right? I mean, oh my God, my family still gives me grief about the fact that I boiled eggs and forgot they were being boiled and ran off to pick up my daughter, and they boiled and they hit the ceiling. They started popping up the ceiling, and
that had to smell good.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was like, it's a wonder that I had to call my neighbor and say, oh my God, I forgot the eggs. Can you run into my house and turn off the stove? And
spray some light, spray some spray. Yeah, I was thinking about the Thanksgiving we had. We used to alternate between Thanksgiving in Iowa and Minnesota, between my mom's house and my grandma's house. Mm-hmm. And one year we were up in Minnesota. Well, every time we went to Minnesota, basically, one family member in particular would always decide to do prayer. And my dad and this person just, kind of thing. And it was pretty funny. But anyway, always after Thanksgiving dinner is on the table, right? This person would be like, and now let's have a prayer. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to interrupt somebody to say the food's getting cold.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Next time, this year, we're doing it beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember that my father, my mother, my grandmother, everybody was just pissed.
Right.
Because it was everybody's trying to be polite, like not to interrupt, but it's going on and on for like 10 minutes, and it's like, oh, it's just so like righteous and holy for everyone, and food's getting cold and all this stuff. And that was a great Thanksgiving. That was a warring.
Oh yeah, those are really good. Yep. No, that's right. Yeah. There's so many things to laugh about that we've all done, but this year especially, choose peace. Just choose peace. And it's on you if you don't.
Okay, we're leaving it at that. Bye, everybody.
It's on you if you don't. It's on you. If you choose not to be peaceful, that is totally your choice. It's fine. Just do it somewhere else.
Yep. All right. All right, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. We are grateful.
We are super grateful for you all.
And for hoping that all of you make good choices for yourselves and your loved ones, and that you do find moments of gratitude.
Yeah. Type in some funny stories for us. We'd
love to hear them. We'd love to hear your shit shows.
Exactly. All right. Even if it's you don't know the difference between condensed milk and evaporated milk, we want to hear it. All right.
Oh yeah.
Love you, everybody.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving. All right.